Hi guys, as we come up to another bushfire season, I thought I'd share some thoughts on climate change. We were all taught it in high school, the theory of climate change. The theory's been around since the 1970s. In the 1980s, they failed to act on it under Reagan's administration, and then Australia and all of the other countries followed suit. I guess in high school, I remember going to a camp that didn't include electricity or any of the modern world resources. And I thought to myself, and I tried to explain to the teachers there, that why don't we start another dark age? I didn't think a dark age would actually be that bad comparatively to the end of the world and all of the catastrophes that we're facing around the world right now. Dark age would have just been farming without electricity or anything like that. They taught us that they already had solar panels and other technologies that were green energy back then. So there was no point in bothering to go to find something in engineering when these technologies for green energy already existed. They had already invented the electric cars, Generation X with Elon Musk and Tesla. All of these technologies were available. I guess with my writing I tried to expose the economic trapping that we were all in by saying that we should produce a 100% inheritance tax to basically globally, so that we could alleviate the economic barriers in acquiring technology for ourselves that would turn green. But like with the electric car, I guess not many people actually bought the electric car. The same goes with my books or any of the motivations that I was trying to express through those books. There was a lot of anger in those books and that writing. Yeah, I thought, why not live a farm life? But yeah, we're coming up to bushfire season. Already in Victoria, we're experiencing heavy floods, which just is destroying crops. And without crops and resources for food, we don't have the ability to feed the livestock that produces more food. So basically, our sources of food are getting destroyed. That basically means that we'd be going through mass starvation and other things. But it hasn't hit summer yet, and I was watching the news channel, just a weather report, because the weather report doesn't lie or doesn't try to take up media coercion or media deliberation of what should be shown and what shouldn't be shown. And they were showing sort of a weather map of Australia, and near Broome on the western coast of the weather map with its heat sensory detector, there was a red, so it goes yellow, red, dark red, and then there was an area or section probably above a desert or something like that near Broome that just went black. So I suppose that would be the end of life as we know it in that area. It hasn't hit summer yet. So the bushfire season is going to be completely eradicating life, I guess. If there was some sort of conspiracy with the COVID vaccine, I would have hoped that they had actually administered a lethal injection where we do have a heart attack at some point because that would be a painless way to eradicate the population, rather than letting us all burn and boil under the heat of the sun as it fires and takes out our source of oxygen. So, in other news, I'm an uncle, twice over, so both of my brothers had kids. It's a difficult situation to determine any of that. I say congratulations, but at the same time, I'm hesitant to even visit them or get attached, because they seem to be living in a sphere of complete denial, which is what the majority of the population of Earth has done. And I suppose that's really the best way, because we're not tearing ourselves apart. The truth exists in a minority fashion, such as with these little minute talks that I do. I published different material. I wrote a couple of short stories about global warming. One in which somebody was suffering under the heat of the sun, and then they get fentanyl to ease the pain. So that's really all you can do. You can ease the pain, and you can spend time with your loved ones. But I would have thought that it would have been better to accept the truth of what was happening in the world, so you can accept what was happening in the world, so you can actually say a proper goodbye to these people that exist on the planet. It's going to be a long, drawn-out thing, basically, but you can't reverse climate change or the effects of climate change. The bushfires are going to continue. We haven't really received any sort of form of apology from the right-wing governments that took over the world that enabled these catastrophes, such as the fires that took place last year and will continue to go out throughout the world, the storms that are happening throughout the world, the landslides, all this climate change effect. We haven't received any sort of consolation from these right-wing governments and what they have done. And I don't know what else to say, okay? I love you all. Bye.